Hi everyone, good morning.
Good
This is
morning.
Shivani. I welcome you all to this curtain raiser interview of our webinar conducted by WICCI, that is Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Maharashtra chapter, in collaboration with MasterMyLife. We have with us our esteemed guest, Mr. Hemant Lawanghare. Welcome, Hemant.
Thank you. Thank you, Shivani.
He's a life coach, educationist, industry expert, and emotional intelligence expert. So, Hemant, we know that emotional intelligence is the need of the hour and very important competency when we talk about a leader. So, this webinar is all about it. That is embrace EI and lead with a difference. I do have few questions for you. And the first is the situation that most of the female leaders do face. So, as a leader, even I have faced this situation when I'm passionate about working, I'm a professional, and give my 100% to the organization I'm associated with. And I'm due for promotion for long now. But at times, it happens that I do feel there is some kind of discrimination, or what we say the glass ceiling, that is not letting me get where I want to. And it makes me feel really low and demotivated. So, what should I do?
Yeah. So I have spent 24 years of my life in corporates, and I have worked not only in Indian organizations, but also Japanese, German, and American, as well as Chinese organizations. And there is some myth about this particular glass ceiling concept, which I have personally experienced, and I, of course, analyze it, being in now education for a few years, and we train our students on emotional intelligence and the issues which are perceived like glass ceiling, because 80% of my students are females. So definitely our curriculum has that particular focus area as well. So many times it is being said that is the worldwide, how much percentage of women leaders are there in the CEO positions in corporates and all that, and it is being said that it is less than 10% or something like that. But at the same time, it is not an apple to apple comparison. When you will compare, you have to see that how many percentage of male are working in the industry. From that particular quantum, how many percentage of men go to the top, and how many what is the quantum of the female leaders working in the industry, and out of that how much percentage go to the top, you will see it is the same percent. It is not related to the gender. The quantum of male working in the industry is higher, and the quantum of female working in the I'm talking about the overall industry, right? So there are some industries like BPO or hospitality where the percentage of the female employees is more. But if I talk about the all the industries, including engineering and software and hospitality and energy and oil, everything put together, so the percentage of the female working itself is less. So this is a myth. What is a myth? That is, women leaders do not reach top. Now you see any article, or you go for the Forbes, and wherein you will see world top 100 female leaders and all that, and you will see that they are from a very diverse background, right? In the top 100 there are many Indian, there are many female who are doing a hardcore business, engineering business, IT business, right? FMCG business, right? So this glass ceiling is a perception. And where is this particular perception? This particular perception is into females. In the males, this perception is not there, because means I'm not only talking from my experience, but I'm talking from the my boss's experience and my colleagues' experience when we were working in the industry, right? So there was never a bias. Especially I'm talking about the good organizations, right? I'm not talking about the smaller organizations. I'm talking about the global organizations. They don't have bias. In fact, in last 10 years, there is a preference towards promoting women. Now all the boards want a considerable diversity in their boards, and actually they are giving preference when they are promoting, right, between the male and female. The females are now giving preference, and this I am talking starting from the 2010 onwards, right? So right now in 2022, if some female is saying that is okay, there is a glass ceiling and all that, in my opinion, it is the mindset, it is their perception. How in corporates, especially right now I'm giving example of corporates, how in corporates one rises the ladder, it is absolutely based on two skills. One is the competency related to the role, whether it is engineering role, marketing role, or operations role, you need some specific skills, right? Key success factors related to that particular function. And the second is people skills. That is how you are getting along with the people, how you are developing your team, how you are getting along with your colleagues in the cross-functional department. So the people skills and the functional or the core competencies is how one succeeds in the corporate, and it is not different for the male and female, right? So my answer to this particular question, that is the females who are thinking that is they are facing the glass ceiling, they have to first internalize and observe that is which are the competencies related to the functional and related to the people skill they have to enhance, right? So the answer lies there.
Great. Great, Hemant. Thank you for bringing that to our awareness. Being a female, if I say being a woman, thank you for bringing that to the awareness. Also, here comes the second question for this. When we talk about the people management and the competency that the person has, that technically the person can be very sound. So when we talk about the development of any talent pipeline for creating the leadership and creating the leaders, the future leaders, this is the main concern for the HR. So the second question is related to that technically the people who are shortlisted, they're very sound. But when it comes to the people management, that becomes a really challenging for the HR. So how can these people take care of becoming a resident leader?
Yeah. So always we have to go to the root cause, right? So this is the symptom. What is the symptom? That is the technical people, when they become leader or manager, they are not in a position to manage people well, but they are very good in their job or function, right? So the root cause is number one into our education system. Our education system develops students for the functional skills. Engineering education will give focus on engineering, commerce only on commerce, art on the specific specializations, science of course related to again specific domains and the specializations. So in the education, starting from the childhood till the adulthood, the person is bombarded with the functional knowledge, right? So the person thinks that is, yes, in life it is the functional skills that will take the person from point A to point B or growth. Also during the recruitment, what the recruiter sees, of course they see the overall persona and attitude, all that, but the main criteria is the fit to the job. And in a fit to the job, again the 80% weightage is given to the technical or functional education background and the skills and the previous experience related to the same job content. So our entire system is skewed towards the skills and the functional domain, and it is not giving that much importance to the life skills and the people skills. And then we complain that is we who have recruited them, right, means HR, and now in future we are finding it difficult. So during the recruitment itself, if the more emphasis will be given or the equal emphasis will be given, okay, 50% is the technical and functional and the 50% is the people skills and all that, and there are many assessment centers now who assess you for the people skills, and if that people skills are not there, then you can have a personal development plan of say 6 months or 1 year. You can still hire that particular person with a clear-cut understanding that is within 6 months or 1 year, we must develop these particular people skills into that particular person so that he can contribute better to the organization, and he will also ensure his or her career growth, right? So that kind of mindset, that kind of assessment has to be there. This is the point number one. Point number two, how it happens, what skills or the competencies gives you success at a lower level definitely are not the skills and competencies which will give you success at a higher level. At a lower level, many times your skills related to the job and the job description and the technical skills will take you from an engineer, for example of engineering industry, from an engineer to manager. But once you become manager, you require a different skill. Once you become a general manager, you require a different skill. Once you become a CEO, you require a altogether different skill. So is industry very clear on what are the people skills necessary at each level, at engineer level, at manager level, at general manager level, and at CEO level? And there are some core skills, people skills necessary at each level. So if the HR is clear that on each level, this is what the learning and development needs are there, then the HR already knows, right? So it is called as prevention. So right now, the question is for the postmortem. That is now we are finding it difficult. That is, these particular good technical people are not in a position to manage people, but that we should know on the day one, because you are hiring them from the technical skills, right? So who is responsible for developing their people skills? If the education system has not done it, right, then of course the organization has to take the responsibility from the day one, and that has to be the part of the L&D plan from the day one.
Wonderful, wonderful, Hemant. This brings to our notice also that we have to restructure and redefine so many things in the organization culture. Again, now it's like coming up with a third question, because when we talk about this rat race, the competitive world, wherein a lot of demands are there and a lot of expectations are there from the leaders, and they have to come up with the clients, the strategy, the planning, the organizing, and everything. So people who are there at that level, wherein they have to manage people, where is the time for them to connect with their own people and behave, keeping in mind the emotional intelligence? Because the only communication and the only things that come out is business. So that is something that is there, and because of which a lot of issues are there in team bonding. So how to address that, taking into consideration emotional intelligence?
Yeah. So again, we have to go to the root cause and understand what is business, right? So the business is an ecosystem where people work together to produce results. So it is all about people, any business, whether it is engineering business or IT business or retail business, right? So any kind of business, ultimately it is the people who are going to work together, right? So once you are clear on what is business, when your concept of the business is clear, automatically your approach towards business will be different, right? You are clear that I am managing people, I am not managing company. The company is nothing but people working together. So as a CEO, as a general manager, as a manager, as a team leader, what is my role? My role is people management. My role is taking care of the people, and it is the people who are going to produce results. Of course, my value add will be there, right? Depending upon my function and my role, my value add will be, because I am also one of the people, right? Right. So the people produce result means I also produce result, and my team also produce result. My fellow colleagues also produce result. The other teams within the organization also produce result. So once I have this people orientation, now is there something special in this people orientation? Answer is no. It's common sense, right? Because it is the people who are going to give you the results. So once you are very clear, where is the question of you thinking separately about emotional intelligence, separately about the people? The people are not separate from the business. People are business. So once you are clear on that, automatically you will empathize with the people, and you will see what you can do to support people. Because unless you as a leader support people, they are not in a position to give you the best possible results. To allow your team to give you best possible result, you have to take care of your people, and that is the foundation of the emotional intelligence. So as a leader, are you self-aware? Right? Okay. Is your team self-aware? As a leader, are you managing yourself first? Is your team managing themselves, whether it is a project management or lean management or any kind of functional management? So are you empathetic about your people? Are you taking care about of your team? And then do you have some social engagement initiatives, right? Because when you are working in the team, right, so there has to be some connection within the team. So in each quadrant of the emotional intelligence, as an organization and as a leader, you need to have some specific actions, and you need to develop the organization culture which takes care of self and team awareness, self and team management, self and team's empathy, and the self and team's social skills, right? So this is the prerequisite of being a leader. This is not some extraordinary leadership skill. See, emotional intelligence is not some skill which is a foreign skill, right? Means it is not some coding wherein you have to learn that particular coding. So it is being human. Once you become a human, of course, many times we are not being taught into our educational system, so we might find it little bit difficult at start, but it is in your DNA, right? So the human being's DNA is emotionally intelligent. That is the reason you have taken birth as a human being. So the human being is the highest species in the universe, which is much more emotionally intelligent than the other animals, right? So you are emotionally intelligent by birth. You have to just refine your emotional intelligence skills.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, for these wonderful insights that you have shared with us. And yes, as you have really mentioned and rightly mentioned, it is the emotional intelligence is within us. So let's look forward to becoming more emotionally intelligent by rediscovering these concepts. And for that, you have to register and be there in our webinar, which will be there on 26th of March from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And the details will be shared. They are there already on the social media. So again, looking forward to meet you all there in the webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hemant, for giving the time and wonderful insights.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great